Hello and welcome to my compilation video of me and my best friend Z's 6-month trip around the world, primarily in Asia and Europe. Our first stop and first leg of the trip is in Japan, which we started in Osaka for, which is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to also preface by saying that the Asia leg was more of a holiday aspect of it, so we kind of did a lot more videoing and showing you around. So this has most of the videos, plus look at our bucket shower, great. So yes, we started in Osaka and I love Osaka. It's very, very beautiful. The deer park, as you can see, is absolutely amazing and you can bow to them and they bow back to you. It's very adorable. And it's a lot more calm, I think. I really like Osaka for kind of the beautiful scenery and being able to walk around in a space that maybe isn't quite as busy as Tokyo, which you'll see a little bit later. So we went to Dotonbori, which was absolutely lovely, just walking around and seeing all the different sites. Obviously had to show you the ferry wall, as well as the food there was absolutely gorgeous too, so definitely go to Japan for the food. Team Lab Forest was also amazing, so that's run by Team Lab obviously, and it's an interactive space within the park that they are in, and it's so beautiful, lots of fun things to see there. We also went to Japan Universal, which was a highlight for me specifically because I love Universal and all that they have to offer there. We got to see the Jurassic Park area as well and lots of the little dinosaurs, which are obviously completely real, and just being able to interact with them and walk around and kind of immerse myself in that. Luckily, we were also able to go to Harry Potter World. We thought it was going to be closed off, but it wasn't, and it's so cool. They have butterbeer there as well, which is delicious, so definitely try that. We then also went to Harry Hedgehog Cafe, which was so cute. You can feed and sometimes hold like this little hedgehog, some of the animals there, and they were so adorable. So we just got to hang out with little critters for a little while. The otters were absolutely lovable, absolutely crazy, so much energy as well, much more energy than I had during this entire holiday, but they were so adorable, so it absolutely made up for it. They were absolutely gorgeous. The next place we went to was Tokyo. Tokyo is incredible. It is such a culture shift and so fun to be able to kind of immerse yourself in amongst the people and obviously a lot of other tourists too. So we made a lot of stops in Tokyo, even though we were only there for a short period of time. Obviously as well, we had to go and do some of the arcades. So we spent a fair bit of time there just wandering around and trying our luck at a few different things. I'll be honest, most of the time we didn't win things, but I think that's the fun of it as well. So we did opt for a couple of ones that we could actually properly win stuff, even if you can see me struggling for a good little while here to try and actually open up the prizes, but we got there eventually and I got a little side duck, which was very cute. And then we went on and went back through more arcades, tried to get more stuff, and I put all of my concentration into trying to get to these little prizes, and sometimes it went well and sometimes you are faked out and you think you're going to get something and then you don't. But that's okay. I think the experience is more the important part of it than actually winning anything. But luckily I did get it to come away from it with a few different bits and pieces anyway. So I still had an absolutely great time, especially with this one that shocked me. That should have fell down. It didn't. And I was very excited about it. So I got that one as well, which was a little Meowth and Shibuya Scramble Crossing, which I can barely say, let alone walk through. It was so busy, but we did get to see the little Pokemon Center there as well, which was gorgeous, and Tokyo Disney. I love Disneyland. I'm not the biggest Disney fan, I will admit, so we didn't film too much here, but it was beautiful to walk through and just experience Tokyo. And our next stop on the leg was Seoul, South Korea. I adore this place. I would love to go back again, spend some more time there and really just do a bit more than I was able to in about a week and a half that we were there for. It was absolutely gorgeous though, and I love this city so much. I also went to 1 Million Dance Studio, who I've been watching for years and years on YouTube and have such an appreciation. So to be able to dance there was absolutely insane, and Yongmaland Abandoned Theme Park. This place is amazing. When we went there, we were the only ones there with the cats for quite a while, actually, and then only one other person turned up while we were there too. So it's an amazing place. If you like taking photos, definitely put Yongma on your travel list, because it's just such an interesting place to walk around, where everything is still there, but it's very run down. And like I said, there are photo opportunities galore. So if you can bring along a friend to take photos, it's amazing. I know this place has been used in quite a lot of music videos as well. So very cool to experience. And Colour Pearl Museum. So this was the first of the selfie museums we went to, just because we were like, we're going to live our Instagram lives while we're holidaying, so we may as well go to somewhere that is for exactly that. So we had a great time just wandering around, all the crazy stuff that they had there, being cute little friends over there. And then I also went to Seven Hills Dance Studio because I want to do as many dance classes as I can there, and that was absolutely fun as well. Bit of a different style, but I loved it so much. Dongdaemun Design Plaza was also absolutely crazy. It was so futuristic and wild, so obviously we had to get some content there as well. Otherwise, Korea in itself is just beautiful, and I highly recommend you going there. Next up was Thailand, and we started out here in Phuket. Now this, while we were obviously still working for this entire trip, wanted to use this as a bit of a relaxing kind of space where we had just been doing a lot of stuff, and now because Z and I have been to Thailand before a couple of times, we wanted to just relax, go to the beach, swim in the pool, go and see some live music with some nice cocktails. So it was very much just a bit more of a chill one, even though the weather was kind of sketchy for a bit there. But then we went over to Bangkok. Again, we've been here before, so we tried to do some new things. One of them was seeing the ATEEZ concert. Now, these guys are some of my favorite artists. They are probably top-ranking favorite artist for me, and they are absolutely incredible performers. I'm going to talk over most of this so that I don't get copyrighted, but they are my favorite artists for a reason. They have very amazing vocals, and being someone who's very interested in dance as well, their dance is so on point, just very collaborative, and such an amazing thing to watch and watch them succeed in so much. Not only that though, just watching them be able to do all these insane dances and all the rest of this stuff while having such steady vocals is something that I really appreciate in artists. So being able to actually see that live, considering they don't really come to Australia, so I hope that they do, but being able to see them at all, especially while I'm on this amazing trip, was just such a beautiful experience, and I'm just very, very grateful that I had the time to be able to go and see them, and that it kind of lined up and we worked out that we could make it work and we could go and see it. So I dragged Z along with me to go and see them. So if you ever see them around or see them in concert at all, I highly recommend it, because it's an incredible experience being able to watch them show off, obviously, the songs that everyone knew while we were there, but also it's as much almost a theatre performance as it is a concert, and that I think is a little bit more rare when it comes to more Western artists. So I definitely recommend seeing ATEEZ live if you had the chance, because not only did I enjoy it, I'm very, very happy to say that Z also enjoyed it, because there was a time there where I was like, I don't know, this is my favourite artist, but I don't know if you'll like it as much as I did. But it was definitely the performance aspect made it not just about the music, and if you didn't know the music, then it was weird to be there. It was a whole performance that happened. So I'm very, very grateful that I was able to go and see them while I was in Thailand, and hopefully, ideally, see them when I'm back in Australia as well. Next up, we went to Istanbul in Turkey. Now, for me, Seoul in Korea and Istanbul, Turkey were two of my absolute favourite places on this trip. I'll give you a bit of a hotel tour here as well, because we decided to stay in a hotel instead of an Airbnb, which is what we usually opted for, because it seemed to be cheaper and just a little bit easier generally. But yes, so I love South Korea and Turkey. Like, Turkey was just an incredible place to be, to experience. The culture was so different, and as well, obviously, a different side of Istanbul. There is a Asian and then also a European side. So we kind of went between the two. One of the places we went was the Basilica Cistern, as you can see, which is just, again, insane. Like, it is just very beautiful, and it is stuff that, as someone from Brisbane, Australia, we do not really experience. One thing I will recommend while you are in Turkey as well is try and find one of the bars or something that's high up that has like a view, because it is gorgeous, as you can see. Next up, we have Warsaw in Poland. This is the place where I decided to change my hair, and we went on a full hairdressing journey of me going from my natural and blue hair to this, which eventually gets to grey, but it's a process. So Poland was really cool. We relaxed a lot of the time here, and for a little bit of it as well, I decided to go out and see a couple of museums, have a bit of fun, and obviously we did another selfie museum, because why not? So this one was the Be Happy Museum, pretty much the same as the one in Korea. You just go in, there's a heap of different like areas that you can take photos in. You don't have to be like weird about taking photos, because that's the point of it. Everyone's there to do that. But this one was also really, really cool. So Be Happy Museum, if you like this sort of stuff, is one that I would recommend going to. And I also went to another dance class while I was here too, because I've been missing out. I've been missing home and wanting to do more dance, so I decided to do one in Poland as well. So a lot more stuff that we did there that I didn't video, but that's the gist of Poland, another great place to visit. Budva in Montenegro is up next. So this one, again, we got a lot of cocktails while we were here, because it was a little bit cheaper for us compared to Australia, and we ended up just staying by the beach. We were a little bit back from the beach, but it is a bit of a smaller town. And yeah, just kind of wandered around, had a look at all the pretty architecture that was around. Obviously the beach and the sea is right next to it as well, so decided to get some photos of that and meet some cute little cats as well. There's a heap of cats in Turkey too, so this was one of my favorite bits, was just meeting random animals on the street and befriending all of them. So yeah, Budva again is somewhere definitely, if you want to kick back and relax a little bit, it's definitely a good place to go for that sort of stuff. So I mean, I recommend all of the places on this trip, but this one's pretty good too. Next up, we have another two-parter. So our next stop was Greece, and it was beautiful. So the first place that we started off in was Athens. Now, obviously in Athens, we couldn't not go to the Acropolis. This is such a piece of history and such a beautiful thing to be able to see and experience. The hike up isn't too bad. I heard that it was like a bit bad for people, but it's not too bad for myself. We also ended up working out a new way for a bottle opener when we didn't have one, so that was a cool part of the trip. Next up, we headed over to Santorini, which was beautiful. The beaches are gorgeous. Just being able to walk around, it was very much like a beach town, and being able to just experience it. I'd recommend Santorini if you don't want something that's like too high energy. We did a tour while we were there, saw some beautiful sights. Obviously had to go and see the blue domes as well. And it was just somewhere really cool to experience that is not at all like Australia, even though still beaches and everything, but we had a really good time over there. The pebbles were really hard on the beach, I will mention, but definitely recommend Greece. And our next stop is another two-parter, which is Italy, and we started out in Naples, and it was absolutely beautiful. Obviously so much gorgeous architecture and interior design, and so much history in the place as well. It's just a beautiful place to go to. Really, you will find something around any corner that is incredible. Obviously, we had to go and do some of the classic stuff while there as well, one of which was Pompeii, which was such an interesting historical experience, just walking through where everything to do with Pompeii happened. So that was an incredible experience to have. And then moved to Rome, which we've been there before, so we only spent a little bit of time there, but as per usual, so history rich and so beautiful. The Trevi Fountain is always hands down one that I will want to have a look at when I go there. Next up was Casablanca, Morocco. Again, a lot of just beautiful places to visit. Obviously the mosque, some of the parks and everything. We spent a bit of time there really just wandering around and taking in the culture. A lot of people asked us why we were there, and we were like, we want to visit and experience, and it is a beautiful experience. Also, while I'm there, I got another tattoo, which you can see now, because that's what I do when I travel. But yes, I think it's very much an experience place, just wander around and be in amongst the culture kind of place. So that was a lot of fun. So I also recommend Casablanca, as I have with every place so far. And now for the second last leg of the trip, we are in Berlin, Germany. First thing we did on the first night was go and see Stand Atlantic and water parks and watch their show, which was so cool. I've actually come to love Stand Atlantic. This was a pick from Z, so I actually ended up learning about a new band, which is very exciting. But yeah, so Berlin, Germany, Z and I have both been here before, and we absolutely adore Germany. There's a reason we wanted to go back, and we ended up doing it for about 3 weeks instead of the shorter trips like the others. But it was just such a beautiful city. Not only is Z learning German at the moment, so obviously experiencing that and being within the culture to learn a bit more about the language, but also just the place itself. The people are so lovely. We had a lot of Glühwein, which is mulled wine, and we found Liefmans as well, which is a drink that I adore, and I have not thought to buy it for ages, but it's a German fruit beer. So that's really cool. And then obviously we had to go and do the East Side Gallery on the Berlin Wall, go and walk down that area as well. It was snowing as well while we were there and throughout our stay, and it ended up snowing quite heavily. So we got a white pre-Christmas. This is me trying to take photos in front of this place and waiting for people to leave, and then trying to catch snowflakes and run away. And this is what it was like by the end of the trip. So it was so cold, absolutely crazy, but it was so beautiful. We also went to some Christmas markets because, of course, it was coming up to Christmas now, and we had to go and get more Glühwein whenever we went anywhere. So that is me, and that cup I have kept with me as well. So yes, so much snow, so beautiful. And now for our final leg of the trip, we have England. So this is a bit out of order, but we did go to Winchester, which was recommended to us from a little restaurant. And apparently they had really good Christmas markets, which I can verify they are. It's so big, so many different things, bought so many souvenirs and bits and pieces from here. It was very packed out, I will mention. However, it was a really fun experience. It was around one of the cathedrals there as well, so it was just very pretty, very picturesque, and then we had a little pub lunch afterwards. And then went back home to Reading. Another place that we stopped at outside of that was London as well. So we had a weekend in London and then our last day of the entire trip in London too. We've been there before. It is a great place to go. I have always loved the vibes in London. Everyone was so nice, especially in Reading as well, which I don't have really clips of that because we were just being lazy and hanging out. But we did a couple of the touristy things and wandered the city and did lots of fun stuff. We met up with Finley as well, who we have been friends with for a very long time. And one of the other places that we ended up going to was Stonehenge as well. We didn't realise how close Stonehenge actually was to Reading, which is where we were staying. So we decided to pop out and go and see this historical place since it was so close to us. It was, as you can see, so windy that day. It was kind of insane. So that's me trying to navigate my hair. Now, a little bit that we have from Reading here, which was just Christmas / my birthday, which was lovely. Z set all this stuff up for me, which was very nice, and we had our own little home Christmas birthday thing over in our time zone, so not my actual birthday hours in Australia, but we had a good little time. We got the bonbons, of course, we had our drinks, we had our Christmas lunch, which Z obviously made because I am not good at it, but that was an amazing day. And then for our last night, we ended up heading back to London again. We did go there to see Hamilton the musical, which I highly recommend. It was such an incredible musical, and also had a look at some of these little squirrels. They were very cute, so went to some of the parks, and because we went to London, of course we had to get a photo in front of the telephone booths as well. So that was our 6-month trip. It was absolutely one of the best experiences that I've had, and I am so grateful that I was able to do it alongside Z for this 6 months while still working as well. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I am so grateful I was able to experience. So if you have any questions about anything you've seen and about traveling for 6 months as well, let me know. Bye guys.